recording.
Cari amici sportivi, welcome you to another edition of Milan Weekly Podcast. Here where we talk everything Milan, Serie A, upcoming Coppa Italia, Europa League, and yes, well, we're not professionals, nor do we pretend to be. And Steve, hello, how are you? We're doing like an after. Are you exercising?
Yeah, stretching.
You're stretching because you're in the keto. You've lost some weight. You want to do the DDP yoga with me. There we go. It's been a long week. We had the international break. We played against Lazio.
International break.
You see how Steve loves the international break, and we playing Lazio on Sunday, and we're gonna get into it. But we thought, Presidente thought, who better to get as a guest, as a guy that was there. He was actually at the game, part of Forza Football. I love how they do those little videos at the end of each game, all the correspondence, and do those kind. And we're not going to hold it against him. He's a Lazio fan.
Yeah,
he's from England, and we're going to get into it how he became a Lazio fan.
I would like to know how that happened.
Yeah, so we have with us Alisdair Mackenzie. Are you there? Oh, he's from Scotland. I'm sorry, we saw him from maybe you're living in England or you live in Scotland?
No, I live over in Rome now, in Italy.
Oh,
so,
well,
that's the reason I was at the game. I'm covering pretty much every. Actually, I've been to every game at the Olympics so far this season, bar one. So, yeah, based out here now.
Very nice, very nice. Well, we have to give you a job, right?
Yeah.
You're Scottish, calling you English, and this. But
welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. And no, we're talking about that we like this. We like these little videos you guys make. You are at the game. But before we get into all of that, right? Why don't you talk a bit about yourself? This is the time, to plug yourself and who you are, and most importantly, how did you become to be a guy from Scotland and now living in Rome, and he's a Lazio fan? Please go ahead. We're all
interested. We're interested.
Well, thankfully, you're not the first people to ask me this question, so I do have a kind of quick answer. Well, it's not necessarily that quick. There's no really fast way of getting around it, but essentially, I was brought up in the very north of Scotland, and so we do have a local team up there called Ross County, who I still support, but when I was growing up, everyone had another team because they were so bad. They were in the 4th division of Scottish football, so you can probably guess that's not the best standard. So most people would support kind of Premier League teams in England or Celtic and Rangers, big Scottish teams, but at the time there was a lot of Italian football on TV. And one day I was watching a game when I was probably about 9 years old with my brother, and Lazio were playing Leeds United in, I think it was the UEFA Cup or Champions League. And he said he was supporting Leeds, so then I said, okay, I'll support Lazio. And then I kind of went from that, sibling rivalry. I started just taking more and more of an interest in the club. And yeah, as of about 2002, they became my number one team, and I've been following them ever since.
Well, it's pretty interesting, and that's what I love. Like, everybody's got their own little story of how they came to love their team. And, the 4th division is like me with Regina, that we had those few years in Serie A, and Steve with Cosenza and following those teams. So that's the beauty of football, right? And just talking about our love. And how did you get the Lazio Lounge podcast? You partnered up with a gentleman, Vittorio. How did that come to be?
Vittorio used to be the head of goal.com in Europe, so he's a journalist as well, and he was looking for basically an English-speaking Lazio supporting journalist. And thankfully, when you go on that kind of search, you should hopefully find me sooner or later. So yeah, he got in touch with me just via Twitter, because we followed each other on Twitter and so on. And yeah, just asked if I'd been interested in doing it. I thought it sounded great because, you guys being Milan fans probably have it a bit easier than us, but as an English-speaking fan of a team like Lazio. Sometimes it's not always too easy to get coverage of the games and analysis and everything without being able to speak Italian. So it's something we felt was really quite important to do, to kind of try and connect with the international fan base and so on. And yeah, we've just done our review of the Milan game, which went out yesterday. Was our 100th episode. So we've thankfully come a long way quite fast, and it's been great to see how many people have kind of followed us and supported us along the way.
Fantastic! Yeah. Congrats on that for 100 episodes. And before we get into the game and your thoughts and our thoughts, who, I want to ask you, would win in a street fight? Lotito or Berlusconi? That's what I want to know, because as a Lazio fan, he's got to understand. Well, Milanese have to understand who else was out there as crazy as Berlusconi would be Lotito. So who would win in a street fight? Who's the dirtiest player in the game? I think Berlusconi would probably. He would call a couple of guys. Yeah. I don't know.
He wouldn't fight his own fight.
No, he wouldn't fight his own fight. I don't know. Do you think Lotito would stand a chance against Berlusconi in a street fight?
Surely Berlusconi's the master of the dark arts. No, I mean Lotito. To be honest, he's probably similar. You know, I don't know. He probably has some contacts. I doubt he'd fight it himself. To be honest, but I don't know. You'd put quite an unwanted image in my head now of Lotito kind of shirtless in the middle of a street somewhere.
Nice. Shirtless, wearing overalls, dripped in mazzola olive oil.
Olive oil, exactly. Actually, you know what? Before we get into the game, I know Marcello didn't mention this, but I wanted to ask you. I know it came out a couple of days, Steve, with the whole SMS thing during the summer. That supposedly there was an actual offer of 30 million for the loan, 90 million for the buy, and for that one night, and you know that it was almost a Milanese, and a lot of people in that saying that if it were true that this was an offer that couldn't be refused. Do you put any truth to anything you've heard, or if so, if it was a real a real offer, would you take that money for SMS?
Well, are you talking about now or in the summer? Because I suppose they're two different questions, given that his performances have dropped off a little bit this season. But I don't know. I mean, the interest in the summer was real for him. The Milan one, I can't say for sure. I wouldn't be too surprised if an offer had come in, but what I would say is that it's unlikely to have ever been considered for a moment, because Lotito was very, very rigid, as he is, always, when it comes to selling players. He set his price, and if clubs weren't going to meet it, he wasn't going to sell. So there was also the question of Simone Inzaghi, who's obviously a huge part of what's going on at Lazio in the last couple of years. And I think if he'd let Milkovic go so late on, it would have angered Inzaghi in a way that he may never recovered from as well. So I don't know. We're Lazio fans were used to Milinkovic rumours by now, and I wouldn't be surprised if he left last summer. But the stuff that went on this year was pretty clear as soon as Lotito kind of put up the barriers, what was going to be needed to take him away.
As someone who's been to a lot of the games and you see firsthand, is there an explanation behind this drop of form, this sudden drop of form with him?
Yeah, well, there's a few things. I actually posted an article before the Milan game about this. He's still a young guy, and his experience in the game is still fairly limited. And what people need to remember is that he kind of exploded last season. He had a good season the year before, but last year was the one where he really exploded. He played a lot of the games. I think it was almost 50 matches for Lazio in the club season. so far within the season has been, it's just quite obvious that he's not been not reached his kind of peak fitness, at least in the early weeks of the season. And I think as the weeks have gone on, the games have gone on, we have started to see a lot of improvements from him. The game before the international break against Sassuolo, I think, was his best of the year, and yesterday against Milan as well. You know, he did get subbed off, but he had a pretty good influence on that match as well. So starting to see much more promising signs from him. Well, the other thing, I don't know, a lot of people flag up his goal scoring and say, oh, he's only scored one goal this season, but the point he made himself was that that's not his job. You know, he's a central midfielder, and yes, he can score goals, and he got 12 last season, I think it was, and that's because he's such phenomenal talent. He can do a bit of everything, but he shouldn't be judged just on how many goals he's scoring, because at the end of the day, his contribution is supposed to be across the pitch.
Yeah, and that's very well put, and you know that's a bit how the game have changed. You know, a lot of people are stat driven. Myself, I'm not a big stats guy, and I get you 100%. You know, like as a central mid, he should be dictating play and doing much more the usual things that he does. Those 12 goals were like a bonus for him, right? I know Presidente sent you a whole bunch of fluffy questions there, so we're putting in our own, you know, just to make it a little bit more presentable.
Yeah.
Another guy that I'd like to talk about, and he really interests me, and I think he doesn't get enough praise. You know, Lazio, unfortunately, they buy well and sell well, right? And like you mentioned, Lotito, when he's set on a price, that's the price that he's gonna get, right? So you know, Felipe Anderson was an example, and so on and so forth. So Tare doesn't get a lot of the praise like the other sporting directors do. Can you talk to us a little bit about him and what you know about him?
Sure. I mean, Tare's an interesting one because I think people are really coming over to his side in the last couple of seasons, because this has been his best period for Lazio as a sporting director, without doubt. I mean, the fact that he's made losing key players a very effortless transition. The best example is probably losing Lucas Biglia and immediately having Lucas Leiva come in for only 5 million, who's been an upgrade of Biglia concerning his performances in a Lazio shirts anyway. But he does it all the time. I mean, Joaquin Correa came in as soon as Anderson had gone, and he so far has been contributing as much, if not more than Anderson. Sorry to mention his name. But yeah, what you say is right. You know, he's getting good prices for players that are leaving and filling in the gaps very astutely. I mean, Francesco Acerbi, again, another one who loses to Fry on a free. It was a terrible oversight by Lazio. But
Yeah.
the fact that they managed to bring in Acerbi, who's honestly, I can say without doubt, been one of the best players in this Lazio team this season. Yeah, there's all that going on, and you know, it wasn't that long ago that fans were divided over Tare. You know, I spent a year over in Rome back in during the 2011-12 season, and during that season it wasn't rare to hear the fans chanting against him, and basically, I don't want to use bad language on the show, but you can fill in the gaps. Because you know, he was linked very closely with Lotito, who's quite an unpopular character among many fans, and also he was signing guys like Jibril Cissé, Daha, Gael Kakuta. You know, there is a very long list of complete flops that Tare's brought in, which is always worth flagging up as well as the other ones. But like I say, I think his work in the last 2 or 3 seasons has been by far his best at Lazio, and yeah, he's getting some recognition for that as a result.
Yeah, and
it shows. I mean, there's.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, the one last thing I was going to say on that was just that it shows in the balance sheets. You know, it wasn't that long ago that the figures for the top, well, all the clubs, Serie A clubs in Italy came out, and last year the only one of the big 6 to actually finish the year in the black. So I think that's a big achievement for Lotito, obviously, and how he runs the club economically, but also it's a big pat on the back for Tare that he's managing to make such a competitive squad that's capable of getting prize money without spending too much in the
No, well said there, and like I told you, as someone who I love Milan, but I also love Calcio there. You just have to just tip your hat to the work that he's done because it's hard year in year out to lose either your best player or a foundational player and then just replace him like as if it's something that's seamless. So it was just that we bring up Tari.
Yeah.
Plus, I like his hair.
There we go. So let's take it.
Let's get into the game. Let's get into the game. Now we're being all nice. I want to get into the game.
So let's put it this way. So yesterday, even before the game started, even the week before the game started, we knew as Milanistas that we were going in with quasi a Primavera team with players that are not used to playing together, different kind of formation, and now I was trying to debate this with Steve. And now after the game, before the game, anybody would have said, if we're getting out of there with a point, it will be good. What happened, but it seemed to me, Steve, and I don't know if Alisdair's he's gonna agree with us, but it just seemed that Lazio did not want to win this game. I don't know, like they didn't. We had our Çalhanoğlu with the post, but it doesn't seem like yes, Donnarumma stood on his head for a couple of times, but I thought on paper Lazio should have. Not say easily won this game, but everything was against Milan and the soccer gods spoke. I don't know, Steve, what do you think? Do you agree that maybe Lazio, now we're looking at some highlights here, but there was no, clear, real danger, like maybe one here, one there, and that's what our...
To be very honest, you guys, and Alistair, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think Milan confused the hell out of Lazio. Because they didn't think that they were going to be able to muster up any type of performance. I'm critical of Milan, and I'm not afraid to call a spade, especially when it comes to Milan. I was just in awe of the performance. I thought it was going to be like really, really bad.
Yeah.
Just because of the formation, who he had in certain spots. Abate starting, I'm not a big fan. Çalhanoğlu, unfortunately, he's still dealing with some off-field issues that have been pissing me off for the whole year. Just missing the type of players, Higuaín, the negativity coming from his suspension, where he could have been a game changer in this type of game, but was not. Capitan Futuro Borini playing in this game was beyond me as well. But to be very honest, I cannot be critical because. They really played. It was a half decent game. I thought it was going to be scrappy. It didn't end up being scrappy. Lazio had their chances. Donnarumma stood on his head.
Yeah.
We got lucky with our goal to put us.
And people want to complain about.
We need luck. Sometimes we need luck.
You need luck, and people want to talk about the Zapata's header directly to Correa's goal. But guys, we got lucky on the goal, right? Everybody would have been happy with a point, and that's what it comes down to. Now, what do you say to that? So did it seem like Grinta, Lazio didn't have that Grinta, or were we just completely bamboozled by Milan's,
while these guys are actually playing a good game?
Yeah. What do you say to all this?
A few things really come to mind. I mean, the first thing about Milan confusing Lazio, I think you're probably about right. It probably confused everyone really with that formation and the selection of the team. But you know what? I think what's you guys will know more about this than me, but I think that Gattuso's probably not got as much credit as he deserved for the way that team was drilled, because considering how many players were out said it. It's the least they've ever celebrated a 94th minute equaliser because it felt like it deserved more from the game. But there you go. I don't know. It's an impossible one to really work your head around because Lazio did pretty much what they needed to do in that game, apart from putting the ball in the net when they had the chance.
Well, we're going to let you into a little secret. You have one person to thank for your point in the 94th minute, and that's our beloved president. And I'm going to explain to you why. See, we have a WhatsApp group for the Milan Club of Montreal members. And we like to discuss sometimes, okay, here's our event coming up, whatever. And you know the way the football gods work. So as soon as Kessie scores, one of our members, Milan Legends, are like, okay, some luck our way for finally. Right there, I'm like, that's not good. Who replies back to that message?
El Presidente.
What does he say, Steve? You see what I did? I put a picture of Kessie on the event page, and look, he scores. I'm like, that's it, guys. We're not winning this game.
1-1. There goes. He's a mush. He's Eddie Mush.
He's Eddie Mush from put him in the bathroom. And so basically, if you want to thank him personally, it's all because Presidente. We're right now we're not putting you over. We're burying you.
Yeah.
We're burying
and after that, just to put into perspective, we set some clear-cut rules for the group.
Yeah.
No more talking. We're not allowed talking about it. We're winning a game. We're not allowed talking about it. It's only 42 minutes after the game is complete. We're allowed to talk about this victory.
Exactly. So you, when you have a chance, you could go thank him yourself there. Okay, so for Lazio, coming from a Lazio fan, do you think? And by the way, I don't know what I always had some respect for Filippo Inzaghi, but he did a kind of a little show there at the end. I don't know what took
That's
over him.
Simone Inzaghi. Filippo is ours.
Sorry.
We give them Simone.
Simone over there. He's doing a kind of a show, and they're like, no, I'm not going down, and that was not like him. It was entertaining. It was entertaining in there, but in the end, what I want to ask you is that as a Lazio fan, what would be, you think, a realistic target for Lazio this year? Would it be finishing top 4 like Milan wants to do, or Europa League more of a realistic goal?
Well, yeah, I mean it's top 4. That's without doubt the target, and it's we're pretty much exactly where we were last season, which was being 20 minutes away from Champions League football, and a 4-minute period stopping us from getting to the Europa League semi-finals. And that was all it came down to at the end of that season, was 2 horrendous blackout periods in 2 different matches, stopping that from being a really, really memorable campaign. But look, this team is don't believe the nonsense you hear about that out there about Lazio being depleted every summer. I mean, this team is actually stronger than it was last year. Anderson's gone, but he wasn't a starting player anyway in that team last year.
Yeah.
He made valuable contributions, but so is Correa. Cherby's replaced De Vrij, and apart from that, you've still got the same team. You've still got Immobile, Milan Kristavic, Alberto, Lucas Leiva, Strakosha. I mean, the core of this team's the same, but the depth has really improved, has been the main thing. So the team is a lot better placed. What I'm trying to say is the team's a lot better placed to actually fight in 3 different competitions, because the rotated team Lazio can play in the Europa League now features players like Milan Badel and Fallon Berisha and Correa as well, given that he's not getting many chances in Serie A for no apparent reason. So the depth of the team's got a lot better since summer, and as a result, I think the players who we rely on in the league will be a lot fresher to take on the big league games. So, to answer your question, top 4 is definitely the target, but it's something that Lazio have to resolve these problems in the big matches, because to get it there's no doubt we're going to need to be picking up points from games like last night and winning them, really.
Yeah, and that's a good point. But Lazio does its job against the teams that it should beat. That's why they're in the position that they are right now. Unfortunately, Milan does not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, and I get that, but for me, I'll be truthful with you. I don't buy that excuse from Napoli fans. Enough is enough, right? You gotta go. You gotta get these points against Chievo. That you wanna be Lanti Juve. You gotta go get those points. There's no excuse. I don't care about flying donkeys. I don't care.
They parked the bus.
They parked the bus and it worked. But the thing is that if you're Napoli and you want to go for this Scudetto, I'm fed up with these excuses. I'm fed up of Rome's excuses. I'm fed up of Napoli's excuses. There's 7 long years that Milan. I'm not going to talk about the Snakes Inter, which you guys should have beat to be in Champions League, but decided that you had that 4-minute blip to make them rub it in our faces even more. Because I would have liked Lazio in the Champions League better than Inter. I'll tell you straight. And that's not because you're on the show. This is straight from the heart.
Better Eagles than Snakes.
Yeah, better Eagles than Snakes.
It's okay. Well, you're forgiven. But no, in the end, what are you talking about? Like in the last couple of years, Lazio's been maybe the most consistent. They've had their dips like every other team, but they seem to sell and buy and replace, and like you said, depth, right? So let's see what
all the snakes, right, Alisdair? All the snakes, they're all saying, Lazio gave us De Vrij. No, they didn't give you De Vrij. They made a mistake. They didn't renew his contract, and you took him from him.
Yeah.
But then they replaced him, and they didn't skip a beat.
So in the end, they're doing something well over there. Just that the Sunday's game was not a reflection of what Lazio's been capable of doing. And in the end, I prefer having Lazio taking those spots other than those snakes of Inter. Or, should I say maybe we don't like Roma, right? If he's a Lazio, we have to hate on Roma.
No, we don't like Roma. I don't like Roma.
So before we let you go, who do you hate most? Roma or Juve?
Well, as a Lazio fan, it has to be Roma. It always has
Obviously.
to be Roma. But, there's never any question. But, it's Juve is just the universally unpopular choice in Italy, I suppose, aren't they? But, I don't know, you have to tip your hat to them in certain ways. They do get the job done, and it's not always the most exciting, but they are just a league ahead of everyone else in Serie A at the moment. And what you're saying about Napoli is right. They need to be winning games against Chievo if they have any hopes of staying up there. So I don't know. It's a bit of a shame because at this stage of the season, I don't know if you guys agree, but it seems like already the Champions League race is the only kind of exciting thing that's going to happen here. It seems like Juve are going to win it. There's going to be Inter and Napoli in second and third, one way or another, and then there'll be 3 teams going fourth.
Now, I predict. I'm going to predict something here. There's a dip coming for Inter. There's a dip in form. I think the winter dip is coming for Inter.
Yeah.
And it's something that Spalletti cannot get away from. It's
in their gene.
It's in their gene.
DNA.
If they don't go through that dip, I agree with you 100%. But I think that dip is coming.
So we'll see. We'll see what Serie A holds for us in the before the winter mercato. But before we do let you go, and thank you very much for everything you guys do over there, and like those little videos for us too, like
Italian football.
Football Italia. They promote the podcast. If you just want to give us where people can find you, read your work, your interviews, this is where you get to put yourself over, as we would say in the wrestling terms. Go ahead.
Well, thanks very much, first of all, for having me on. It's been really great fun, and you guys do a great job on the show as well. So I'll do my best to get the last few fans to listen, especially to this one. For me, you can find me on Twitter at my handle's AKS Mackenzie, and I'm also on Facebook as well. You can just search for my name, Alisdair Mackenzie. And it's basically the best. I'm a freelancer, so you'll find my work. I'll post links to what I'm doing, which is for a range of different publications. And the other thing as well is Lazio Lunch, which we've already talked about, but you can follow Lazio Lunch on Twitter, Lazio_Lounge, and we're on Facebook as well. And like you mentioned before, we've already picked up our Lazio review show, Lazio Milan review shows. If any Milanisti out there fancy hearing it from our perspective, you feel free to have a listen and tell us why we're wrong. And spread the word. It's great have so many English language Serie A club podcasts out there. So keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you, and hats off to you as well, and thank you very much once again for coming on. And we'll speak soon. Maybe we'll get together on il ritorno. And we'll get your perspective from the game itself. So once again, Alisdair, thank you very much for taking the time, and we'll chat soon.
Great. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.
What a guest, huh, Vinny? What a guest.
A guy from Scotland.
Yeah.
I think he said this guy was from England, living in Rome. Fantastic. And you know what? I like how it was no BS. You know, it said it the way it is and the way the game went, and even for us, right? Now we're gonna get into people the substitutions and we could have won and this and that. Guys, I don't care what anybody out there says. Anybody before this game, seeing the starting lineups, everybody would have been mean. If we come up with a point, we're lucky. Steve, am I wrong?
No, you're wrong, but I'm going to disagree with you with the substitutions. We'll get to that.
Okay, look, we're already 30 minutes in. Let's get through these things. Chapter 1.
Wait! We're going to put it into perspective.
Okay, can I go get... You know what? Hold on a sec. I'm finished this video.
Get me a bottle of water. Go.
Alright.
I'll put it into perspective.
Your bottle of water is behind the
Yeah,
computer.
I understand. Right over here.
All
Get
right.
me another one, because I'm going to finish this one pretty fast.
Alright, take it easy.
So, El Presidente, writing these presidential points. So, Presidente had a tough week. Okay?
You did?
So, yeah, tough week. A lot of stuff going on. Catechism for the kids. Hockey, power skating. You name it, soccer. He had it. Italian classes, he had it.
Alright.
The only time he had to write these presidential points was at night.
Okay.
As the moon, full moon, of course, and with a little bit of clouds, like a Halloween moon, okay? He looks outside his window and he's not feeling it. He's not feeling the presidential points.
He's not feeling them.
No. So what does he do? He goes downstairs. Downstairs, in his man cave, he doesn't have a flat screen. He has a tube TV. With the antennas.
27 inches
27 inch with the antennas. Okay? What does he turn? He turns on and he sees the blue and the white. That gives him, Lazio. I need a Lazio fan to be on the show with the guys on Milan Weekly Podcast.
Not the fact that we played Lazio, just because he saw the
but it's the blue and the white, the scramble.
Okay.
So as he's watching, he sees penetration. It's scrambled porn. El Presidente was watching scrambled porn while he wrote down these presidential points. That's how we got these.
But he didn't realize it was
Look
porn.
at the first one. Look at the first one.
He doesn't even realize.
He doesn't realize.
It's just
he saw. Oh my God! What is going on over here? What is this mechanism that I'm watching right now?
Presidential point number 1.
Scrambled porn. Blurred me.
Milan fans are angry we lost 2 pressure points by conceding another late goal and are wondering why Gattuso made no subs in the game. Question, putting aside the goal, even if Milan ended up winning 1-0, what do you make of the decision to play everyone the full 90 minutes and not use any subs to bring in some fresh legs on the pitch?
Look, we still would have talked about it.
No, we're not going to talk about it, but what I'm going to say is, guys, Gattuso is not a stupid man.
No.
If he did not bring on anybody, he must have his reasons. Is it his responsibility to... I don't understand why he didn't bring anybody on. I really don't. But he must have his reasons, and I wish he would be able to share those reasons. And we're going to get into that guy Salvini.
His quote, I saw his thing, he said he didn't want to, I'm going to quote, spacca la partita. Translation, he didn't want to break up the game. Buddy, that was the time to break up the game. Your midfield was tired. Your players were tired. It was a bit confusing, his press conference, because he said he didn't want to bring in any substitutions, but yet he said Conte and Laxao are ready to come in.
You could have put anybody. You have guys.
It's just to break the game. It's a tactic. It's stupid. It will work for you sometimes. It might not work for you other times. Against Lazio, we needed to break their rhythm. They were coming on a little bit more than what was happening in the second half, and that clearance from Zapata, fresh legs in the midfield. maybe it's getting clear.
And in the end, what's the worst that can happen, Gattuso? You make those changes. What are they gonna say? Oh, if you wouldn't have made the changes, we would have won. So
It could have been we made the changes and we would have got
is it
scored
because
on.
of
and
Europa League?
I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning is. It's something that happens all the time.
I get where fans are getting mad at that. I get it, but you gotta try to put yourself and be devil's advocate. I'm like, okay, he must have had his reasons, maybe the legs. I don't know, guys. I really don't know.
If it happens during the 90 minutes, people say, you know what? You usually add about like 25 seconds to 50 seconds per change.
Yeah.
Right? A minute and a half each side, blah, 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 blah. There's nothing that says you cannot make the change in the extra time. They're not going to add more extra time. They've added it already.
He's got a point, guys.
That's all. That's the way I'm looking at it. Would it have changed the game? Probably not, because these guys, they're the stupid WhatsApp decided to say that we were winning 1-0.
That's on you guys. And
It's on you.
you could, if you want to
Take it all. Take it all.
call Mario.
Yeah.
Because Mario, he's the first Scaronga when he reversed your mom's malocchio.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's working.
Yeah.
It was 1-0
Boom.
after 10 minutes.
Boom. Finish.
That's it. We're
Throw
finished.
all that work out the garbage.
Point number 2.
Blame me.
Given Milan's rash of injuries, there's a temptation to seek a band-aid solution to find players with experience, and rarely do you hear any talks of giving the Primavera kids a chance. As Maldini recently said, the only Primavera kids that make the jump to the professional ranks are the 40 classes, the others rarely happens. Question to you, Steve. What is wrong with the developmental of the youth? It is a case of bad scouting, Milan recruiting youngsters who are just not good enough, or is it a case of bad development system when you can't bring up your youth players in times of need like the situation Milan finds itself in? I gotta go with the second one. If the Montreal Canadiens have 2-3, what do? They go to the farm team. Okay, you, come on up. Why can't we do the same thing?
It's even evaluating that talent. You understand? It's a bit of everything. There's no answer to that. It's money. It's the message in the Primavera level has to be one where you will be able to work in the Primavera team as a coach and prepare these guys for what we're doing at the senior level. We don't even know what we're doing at the senior level. How can the Primavera coach prepare these guys? One day it's 4-3-3. The next day it's 4-4-2. The next day it's 3-4-3. The message, what do you want to play? You want to play on the flanks? We're gonna buy guys. We're gonna buy guys who are talented and fast on the flanks. Then you want to play ball possession. What are those guys on the flanks gonna do? You gotta have your identity. I don't think Milan has an identity now, and I've said it multiple times. I stone people. I don't know what this team wants to be. Do they want to be ball possession? Do they want to be aggressive? Do they want to be a pressing team? I don't know what they want to be.
But in the end, the system should be able to let you, like if you're gonna have 2-3 guys that are gonna be out for 3 to 4 months, can you not go in and like have a 2-way contract the way the NHL does? The way I don't know if I don't.
But you could bring. There's no contracting. There's nothing that stops you from bringing a Primavera guy. The Primavera guys are there. It's you have to have the balls to bring them up. Mihailovic had the balls.
Yeah,
he put a 16-year-old in nets. The hardest position. There's no excuse why we couldn't try one of the Primavera guys, give him a couple of minutes, and see. Yeah, he's da Milan or he's not da Milan. We did it with Locatelli, guys. We tried it. He didn't take his chance. I don't care what you guys say, replacement of Billa. Right now we have Bakayoko, which is probably going to be 2 weeks in a row that we can't say nothing bad about him. It's pissing me off. I'm happy.
And at the end, when Zapata gave that hair, I'm like, was that Bakayoko? I'm like, no, it wasn't. I'm like, okay, no, he did an okay job once again. And look, guys, if we could take a positive out of that, is to have a team that's barely played together, that was, start 11. It's like, I have nothing to complain about. Stop thinking that we were up 1-0. Just think about everybody would have been happy with the point from over there. On that note,
I'm not happy.
Huh?
I'm not happy about it.
I'm not saying you have to be happy. I'm just saying you would have taken the 1 point, Steve. And don't say otherwise.
But I would have took the 3 points. I had the 3 points.
Number three is SMS, which we already discussed with that. Also, we're going to go to point number 4, the Inzaghi show, which I touched a little bit. Simone Inzaghi, who had a reputation of being a crybaby coach, should be ashamed of himself for his celebration when Lazio scored at the end of the game and for his arrogance when he refused. Why should he be ashamed for celebration? He wanted to celebrate?
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that. And when he refused to leave the pitch after being sent off, and he said no. What did you make of his antics and Inzaghi, the Serie A coach you hate the most? Where's this coming from, Presidente?
I don't know.
First of all, just the fact that
He's
blood.
He's a baby.
Yeah, but the way he celebrated, what Conte never celebrated.
Conte celebrates. Di Canio ruined 7 suits.
It's like what Gattuso. I've yet to see him celebrate.
Well, he celebrated. He celebrated against Genoa. Udine, he ran to the corner.
I got no problem with him celebrating.
It's gonna happen. I have no problem with the coach showing some emotion. We cannot all be. Hi guys, this is Marcello. I will not be available for the rest of the afternoon because I'm working.
I have no problems with his winning antics. When he got subbed off, guys, we don't
the
know
ref
what he
to
got
take
subbed.
care of. That's the ref
That's
to take
the
care
ref.
of.
But you know what? No, I do not hate Simone Inzaghi. He just reminds me of people. He's blood red. How can we hate him?
Oh no, I don't like him.
Who's the hate? Who do we hate the most? Spalletti. Well, just because he's
just guilty by association.
Yeah. Who else? No, that's
I don't hate a lot of people, but I don't know. He rubs me the wrong way. Simone Inzaghi. He is a baby.
Chapter number 5. What is he? What does he have to bring us back these memories for?
Gol di Montari.
Paolo Tagliavento, the former ref, famously known for the Gol di Montari, spoke about this mistake in a recent interview. Regrettably, VAR arrived too late to resolve some of my errors, the biggest one being Montari goal. Now with the goal line technology.
Regrettably, VAR.
Forget the guy, the
my
line judge
mother,
that was...
My mother, 75 years old, would have seen that. Tagliavento. You know what your name stands for? Tagliavento, cut wind. Could also be farting. You farted.
Do you remember the line judge behind
Yeah, the line judge, he didn't see anything. Tagliavento saying that he didn't see it. Imagine the line judge.
Do you agree with Ancelotti, who says VAR needs to be perfected and perhaps used even more, or will further use ruin the game experience with the delays it causes?
Doesn't cause delays. If you set rules the way the NFL, the NHL do, there's no delay. There's no delay. It's bing, bang, boom. Every goal is reviewed automatically. By the time you get to the center of the pitch, after you celebrate and everything, the goal is already reviewed. Yes or no?
Has there ever been one VAR episode that, Steve, that it took like 5 minutes to review?
There has been some. There has been some.
But maybe at the beginning.
There has been some. Where's my water?
It's right there.
Okay, good.
In the end, used more. I don't think it should be used more, but more efficiently and
consistently.
I like that.
Not more. Use it consistently. Consistently.
Oh man, Steve.
Yes.
What happens when you go on vacation? You know, back in the day, you used to go to the Myrtle Beach, the Wild Woods.
Oh, I went to Cancun.
No, back when you were like in your teens, like at 12, 13, when your parents.
We didn't go nowhere, man.
You didn't go. Okay, so
we
picture.
Go on vacation.
Picture. You're going on vacation, and back in these Wildwood and these Italian.
Jersey Shore.
There always be a lot of buffets. These $9.99 buffets, beautiful. And obviously used to bring you over there, but it wasn't the greatest of food.
Botte acito.
So, well, how would you feel after having all that different, or like
a botte di acito?
The indigestion.
Acid reflux.
It feels good after 5 minutes, right? So, the indigestion of the week, right, is, and I gotta agree with President on this one because this was fucking horrible. The Boca versus River Plate fans. Steve, the River fans threw the bus. Some players got hurt. I think there was some smoke, tear gas in it. You know, people want to talk about the greatest rivalries in soccer. We talk about the Roma Lazios. We talk about the Galatasaray versus Fenerbahce. We're going to talk about the Rangers versus Celtic. Guys, it's 2018 and they've come a long way from there.
Yeah.
Boca Junior and
River Plate. No.
This is and they wanted to play the game after that. That's the worst part. And then they go, okay, we're going to do it tomorrow. And then they decided to cancel. That was a big indigestion.
Yeah.
A humongous indigestion.
Well, for those people, I'm pretty sure some people travel to that game. They travel 4 or 5 times. You travel 2 times in a span of a week to try to get to this game, and you can't even watch it. It was disgusting, to be very honest with you. The only thing is I don't like giving this type of stuff airtime because if you haven't come to it, if you're gonna kill each other over a stupid soccer game where I know it means a lot to some of these people, but there's worse things in life.
Guys, and if you have a chance to look, it's called Football Rivalries. I believe it's still on YouTube. And there's no episode that they talk about the Boca Juniors versus River Plate, and they really explain to you why. But guys, again, the Roma Lazios, where do you guys remember 5-6 years ago the Pope had to show up because of the final? And we've come a long way from there.
And we're not
right?
perfect. We're not saying here that the Italian Serie A is perfect.
No,
by
far.
Right?
And to think of a people like Celtic versus Rangers, where the history is. One would not hire Catholics and the other one wouldn't hire Protestants, and we've come a long way from there. But now to hear stuff like this, Carlos Tevez saying that he was in a bad shape and they still wanted to play it, no, that's the indigestion of the week. And honestly, I have my own, and I know it brings it up to the brioche because brioche is that thing that makes you feel good. Steve, what would you think if that was my indigestion of the week? What if our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, or Donald Trump, the American president, would come out and say, President Trudeau go, the Montreal Canadiens, I don't know what they're doing on the power play over there, and they should be changing the players. Or Donald Trump would say, the Dallas Cowboys should know how to manage a special teams. Matteo Salvini, now, Steve, I'm not a politician. I don't even know what the guy represents or anything. The only thing I know is one thing. He's a politician, and he's a Milan fan.
Yeah.
But when you are a politician, a person of that, well, what are you doing? What are you doing saying this kind of stuff on record? Saying that what the hell, you didn't do any change? No.
Who are you?
Steve, I didn't get that. Like, I get, okay, you're passionate.
I spoke as a fan. I have to give it to him. What a response by Gattuso. Really,
and that's our
saying
feel good.
You should stick to politics because politics is supposedly what you know. And correct me if I'm wrong. He also said, I think this country has bigger problems than Gattuso not making substitution against Lazio Milan.
And Gattuso's kept his mouth shut on a lot of stuff. He always had the politically correct. And I believe this is our Brioski of the week, where it's like, feels good.
He spoke for everybody.
He shut up. He's like, hey, whether he was wrong or right? Why don't you take care of politics? And saying that, and you guys that are listening that are not Italian descent or not living in Italy, you would know, like, there's a lot of problems there, like every other country, don't get me wrong, but the guy's, he's a political whatever, and, Gattuso said it correctly. Instead of worrying about Milan, worry about the country and how you can fix the country, and I really like that because, to me, for Gattuso to answer that way, because he hasn't been Gattuso-esque since he became a coach.
Of North and South too, right?
I understand that.
You have to say.
But now he came out and he apologized. Did you see? I was speaking as a fan. Yeah, because he knows he screwed up.
But speak as a fan. Speak to your friends as a fan. When you're a politician, you're in the eye. You're responsible for your comments. Shut up. No one tells a doctor how to perform heart surgery.
Exactly. So
that's the way I said. Everybody, tutti hanno il suo mestiere. I'm a firm believer of that. You cannot be a master of all.
You have any other indigestions or feel good stories?
My indigestion is that we lost 2 points. That's my indigestion.
But Steve,
that's my indigestion because I want to be in the Champions League. I want to be in the Champions League. We talked about it.
Did we have any business winning that game?
No, but I don't care because there's a lot of teams that have no business winning certain games and they come out of there with 3 points. And if this team wants to make the Champions League, those are the types of games that you cannot lose. Napoli can't lose. Atalanta can't lose.
I think your opinion has changed because we're winning in the 75th minute. That's my.
I want to win every single game.
We'll see.
I would not be doing this podcast if I would think otherwise. I want to win every game.
What did the Chicho from Wisconsin call them? Dude Lounge. We're gonna see what we do against the Dude Lounge on Thursday, and then we'll play on next Sunday. We'll go from over there, guys. I see it one way. Steve sees it another. Once again, Thanks for watching on YouTube. Thanks for listening through all the...
Don't cut that. That's me smashing the table, Presidente. That's me smashing the table.
And thank you for Presidente for watching scrambled porn and not realizing but giving us the presidential points. We really appreciate that. And no more talking on the WhatsApp group. Especially you, Presidente. Don't say anything anymore. You're not scaron.
The rules are there.
Guys, oh, by the way, I was corrected because I don't know why I've been saying comunque sempre, but it's actually ovunque e sempre.
Ooh.
Scusate. Thank you. You guys can call me out on that. I'm the one that called Maldini a right back after all, but it's all good. I don't take anything personal. Ovunque sempre.
Forza Milan!
See you next week.